Nico Iamaleava's team is trying to play damage control. They realize that they overplayed their hands with their insane NIL demands that they wanted from Tennessee, seeking $4 million. He ends up hitting the portal, and now he's expected to make somewhere around $1 to $1.5 million if he transfers to UCLA. Now they're trying to use the excuse that Nico didn't transfer from Tennessee because he was seeking more money. He was transferring because he wanted to be in the offense that better prepared him for the NFL. And if that truly is the reason, why would you commit to Tennessee in the first place if you knew the track record Josh Heupel had with his system and how he equated to guys' performance at the next level? You came to Tennessee because you wanted to go to the school that gave you the most money. You knew doggone well that Josh Heupel was not going to change his system just because of Nico Iamaleava. Because if you're Josh Heupel, why the hell would I change my offensive philosophy when it has resulted in me having a ton of success? However, though, there is a little bit of truth to this. Not more so of Nico Iamaleava for why he left, but more so this offense is anti-NFL. Playing in Josh Heupel's offense puts you at a disadvantage when you end up making it to the National Football League, because a lot of concepts that are ran in this offense, you never see ran at that level in the NFL because of how wide the splits are. This offense kind of is considered gimmicky because it's a college football offense. It takes advantage of the wide margins, how the field is set up in college football. And that's why when you see a lot of these Tennessee guys make it to the next level, they don't really do too much. Joe Milton, he put up good numbers in this offense. Same thing did Hendon Hooker. But this offense is quarterback friendly. It makes it easy to put up godly numbers. And Hendon Hooker probably is the best quarterback that Josh Heupel probably will ever have come through Tennessee that has NFL traits. Or run that back. Nico Iamaleava's team is trying to play damage control because they now realize that they overplayed their hand with their outrageous NIL demands, seeking $4 million from Tennessee. They didn't get that. They held out. Tennessee pretty much told them to go kick rocks. And now that they're in the portal, they've come to the harsh realization that nobody is going to bend to their huge... Run that back. Nico Iamaleava's team is trying to play damage control because they realized that they overplayed their hands with their outrageous NIL demands that they were seeking from Tennessee, asking for $4 million. Tennessee pretty much told them to go kick rocks after Nico Iamaleava didn't show up to practice. And now that he's in the transfer portal, no other team is willing to come anywhere close to the number that they were asking for. Now they have to spin the narrative that, oh, we didn't leave Tennessee because of money. We left because we wanted the offense to change. Josh Heupel has had success running this offense for several years. Hendon Hooker, Joe Milton, they put up godly numbers in this offense. Nico knew the track record Josh Heupel had with quarterbacks in this system. He also knew that this system also didn't really do a good job of preparing those guys for success in the NFL. But the reason why he committed to Tennessee was because the money that they threw at him. And if they would have bent to his NIL demands and he would have got paid that $4 million that him and his family were asking for, nobody would be talking about the offense. But even though I disagree, and I feel it's a little bit of a facade that they're using to try to clean up their image somewhat because things haven't gone in their favor, they want to use the offense as a cop-out. There is a little bit of truth to what they're saying about the offense. Josh Heupel runs a system that takes advantage of the field in college football with this veer and shoot offense that he runs somewhat from the Baylor Art Briles system, with the wide splits that these receivers line up with, It makes it easy for quarterbacks and receivers to put up godly numbers in it. And that's why oftentimes when a lot of the players that come out of this Tennessee offense get drafted into the NFL, they don't really make too many noise. Hendon Hooker, I felt probably was the best quarterback that ever played in a system like that had the ability to have success in the NFL. Unfortunately, his draft stock got ruined because he suffered an ACL injury late during his final season with the program. But if he never got injured, he definitely would have been a first-round pick, because all throughout the entirety of Hendon Hooker's final season with the Vols, he was a projected first-rounder. I felt he was QB3 behind Bryce Young and C.J. Stroud. He definitely was better than Anthony Richardson and Will Levis. And if Hendon Hooker was given the opportunity to start, he definitely would be way better than those guys. Joe Milton, he definitely benefits from playing in this offense. He wasn't that good at Michigan. He goes to Tennessee, and the offense was pretty much tailor-made for him to put up great numbers. But the receivers that have come out of this offense haven't had a lot of success. Jalen Hyatt won the Wide Receiver of the Year award. And yet, in the NFL, he hasn't done anything. His route running was criticized when he was going through the draft process, and his route running hasn't really been good in the NFL. He's been nothing but a bona fide deep threat. You just ask him to go run a post or a streak, and that's about all that he has in his route tree. You see, this offense is simplified so they can go at the speed that they do. This is the fastest offense in college football in terms of how many plays they are able to get out. And they're able to go at the up-tempo, fast pace that they do because everything is simplified. They don't really complicate it too much. They're not asking you to run these complex route combinations like how you would if you were playing for a school like a Ohio State, or if you played for Lincoln Riley at USC. So in some capacity, you can say that Tennessee's offense is anti-NFL. It doesn't really give the players in it the best chance to have success at the next level without having to take a year to make an adjustment. I'm not saying that it's impossible for players that play in Tennessee's offense to have successful NFL careers, but once you go from playing in this offense to playing in the NFL offense, it's an even bigger adjustment compared to a player that played in a more traditional offense that translated to NFL success. And when you play quarterback and you come out of this system, you pretty much have to reprogram yourself. Playing in this offense doesn't mean that you're unable to be a first-round pick, but it makes it a lot harder to make the transition from college football to the pros due to lack of correlation that this offense has from collegiate to pros. The reason why for most quarterbacks like Drake May, Michael Penix, and Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, why they had an easier transition from college football to the NFL is due to the offenses that they played in ran more NFL-style concepts that you would often see at that level in college. With Jaden Daniels going to Cliff Kingsbury, he somewhat runs a similar version of the offense that Josh Heupel does, but he kind of has transformed it to the NFL in some capacity, and that's why Jaden Daniels has success. But when you're playing in an offense that is quarterback friendly and everything is simplified, yeah, it kind of hurts your chances of being able to succeed at that next level because you pretty much have to relearn everything that you did prior to playing in this offense. So in some capacity, Nico Iamaleava and his camp, they are right about how this offense kind of hinders you for being ready for the National Football League. But if you're Josh Heupel, why would you change your offense for one player? Like he said, no player is bigger than the letter T. I don't know if he said the letter T or the power T. I'm going to just go and say the power T because I like that. No program is bigger than the power T. You're not just finna come in here, tell me that I need to change my offense. An offense that led us to the college football playoffs last year, led Hendon Hooker to being a Heisman finalist, led Joe Milton to being drafted. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Josh Heupel's number one priority is winning games. You can still be a successful NFL player from this offense The transition just is a little bit more complicated. But that doesn't mean that you have no shot at having success in the NFL at all.